Mike.
How's everybody today?
Good.
Good. Look, not much to say about the last game that wasn't already said, so, was pleased with the way the players responded and competed in a game, kind of overcame human nature a little bit, and went out and played a lot better than we had against some of our non-conference games earlier, non-conference teams that we played earlier, so that was all a good thing. Happy to see Cyrus Jones, Special Teams Player of the Week in the SEC. Our Players of the Week, Ryan Kelly and Jay Coker on offense, Sean Dion Hamlin, Dalvin Tomlinson, and Cyrus on defense, and Cyrus, Adam Griffith, and Michael Niswan on special teams. Injury-wise, I think, Kenyon Drake's going to start doing individual drills this week. It's day-to-day to see how he progresses and see how, he regains the functional use of his, hand and arm. Dominic Jackson will be back practicing today, and so will Minka Fitzpatrick. So Keith Holcomb, who sprained his knee, probably, will be limited today, but we're hopeful that he'll be back full speed, tomorrow. I don't think I have to tell anybody anything they don't already know about this game. The Iron Bowl is one of the great rivalries in college football. It means a lot to a lot of people in this state, as well as all over the country, and it's certainly an opportunity you appreciate, as a competitor. Our team has, created an opportunity for themselves, and I think it's all about staying focused on what you need to do to play your best football on the road, not let the outside noise sort of affect, your ability to focus on what you need to do to play well against, a very, very good team. Auburn's probably playing the best they've played all year. They've gotten better and better, which I think is a tribute to Gus and his staff for the good job that they do with the players that they have. And, they're running the ball effectively on offense now. The quarterbacks are playing a little bit better. They've got two running backs that have been very effective for them, and they have shown some big playability with their receivers, mostly Ricardo Lewis, who, is their leading receiver and, definitely has made some big plays this year. Defensively, I think they've gotten better and better and better. Their front's playing better. They've created a lot of turnovers and negative plays for people, and they've got some good players that can play on the line of scrimmage up front. So this is going to be a challenge, for us. They do a really good job in the red zone because they can run the football effectively, which is usually the case. All the way around, this is, a very, very good team. And they play, some really good, their best football the last, few weeks of the season.
Okay, we'll start up front with Mark. Just first, what do you see from their two quarterbacks, Jeremy Johnson and Sean Michael?
Well, both guys have played very well at times, and I think Jeremy Johnson's a really good athlete who has made a lot of big plays, extending plays, as well as with his feet. He is a threat to run the ball, and he's made some big plays passing. I think that I don't know who's going to play in this game. We got to be ready for either guy. Probably been a little bit more efficient, with their quarterbacks, either one. And so, we have a lot of respect for both guys, and we think they're capable. They both do a good job with their offense, and they're very capable of making plays, and I think they have a good understanding of what they want to try to do.
In the middle with Michael.
Like you said, after the game, you try to throw the ball more on Saturday. I guess what's the biggest thing you've seen from the passing game recently, and what needs to be fixed the most moving forward?
Well, I just think that, we made some good plays in the passing game in every game. I just think consistency and eliminate negative plays, pressure on the quarterback, cleaning up the routes a little bit. Just develop an overall confidence in the passing game, I think, would help the consistency of it. And I think it's everybody's responsibility on the entire offense, not just the quarterback, but everybody to do their job a little bit better so that we can be a little more consistent in the passing game.
Over here with Aaron.
Javon Robinson was the guy you recruited. What makes him a productive back for them?
Well, he's quick, explosive, can run with power, has make-you-miss ability. And he's, done all those things effectively. He can run inside and he can bounce the ball outside. So, both their guys to me do a really good job for what they ask him to do. And he's played better and better as the season has gone on.
In the middle of Matt.
Coach, how do you feel like Ruben's played this year? What kind of progress have you seen from him aside from just being able to stay healthy?
I'm sorry, who?
Ruben Foster.
Oh, Ruben has played, well for us this year. He's made a lot of plays. He got, I'm really pleased with the progress that he's made, the production that he's had. I think he has a better understanding of what he's supposed to do. He's very instinctive. He runs well, plays hard, plays with a lot of toughness, and he's done a really good job for us this year.
Back up front with Dwayne.
Coach, just back to the quarterbacks. Do you see any difference in the offense with either guy, or are they pretty much running the same thing regardless of who's in it?
I think they, run their offense regardless of who's playing quarterback. I think the fact that, one of the quarterbacks has been a little bit injured probably has limited his mobility a little bit, and maybe how much they ask him to run relative to, what Jeremy Johnson does. But when both guys were healthy, I didn't see a whole lot of difference in, what they try to do with them. I think you have to respect them, whether it's pulling the ball on his own option or, running a read, sweep, Q power, whatever it is. You got to respect them to do those things. And both guys are very capable, passing the football.
Okay, we're going to go back to the middle with Alex.
Just want to ask you, how much, since the pop pass to Sammy Coates in the third game, how much is this team kind of focused on those kind of plays, the run pass kind of option plays? And how do you feel like this defense?
Well, I just think that's a part of their offense. I think all these teams that run spread have run pass options built into, their plays. And, each one of those things we have played correctly in the past. And, when we played it incorrectly, we paid a price for it. So they still do it. They still have them. And our players have got to be disciplined in the way they play them.
In the back with Joe.
Hey, Coach, when you're preparing for an offense where the personnel groups have been inconsistent, multiple quarterbacks, multiple running backs, how do you prepare for that?
Well, I think that, they have used a lot of personnel groups. They have used a lot of different players in different positions. But I think what we try to focus on is, what plays are they running? And how do we have to react to the plays that they're running? And adjust to the formations that they're in, regardless of the personnel group. So, they have a lot of good players on offense, and they do a good job of utilizing their skill set. And, I think the thing that we try to focus on with our players is, okay, here's the formation adjustments that we need to make. Here are the plays that they run from these, sort of, locations, and this is what you got to be ready for and respond to.
We'll stay in the back with Warren.
Coach, how much do you enjoy preparing your team for rivalry weeks like this one?
Well, it's like I said before, this is an opportunity you really appreciate as a competitor. I know our players, get excited about playing, this game, as all the participants in this game, really do. A lot of them know each other, played against each other in the past. And, it's our team has put themselves in a position where they have an opportunity to sort of keep the goals, in front of them. If we can have success and play well, and do the things that we need to do to give ourselves the best opportunity to be successful in the game. So, but it's going to take, our best effort of the year, and I'm excited about, the opportunity that we have.
Back in the front with Ken.
Carl Lawson has had a real big impact on their defense. Have you you know, is that a guy who kind of gets the other guys around him to play better? And how unique is that for, you know, for an edge guy like that to have that kind of impact?
Well, you know, to me, you know, Carl's always been a really good player, very good rusher, and you know, the guy's got some power to go with it, so you just can't take it for granted that he's just going to try to run by you. I think he's a really, really good player. I think some of the plays he makes does, you know, impact and excite, you know, some of the other players on their defense. But, you know, they have several guys that we feel are, you know, really, really good football players on their defensive team. And like I said, I think they've gotten better and better as the year has gone on as well.
In the middle, Cecil.
Coach, so far in November, the effort level seems to have been pretty consistent, LSU, Mississippi State, Charleston Southern. Is that something that's been external as far as you providing the motivation, or is the team sort of motivated itself?
Well, I think it's probably a combination of both. You know, I think that, you know, we put a big emphasis on trying to finish, you know, the year better. We made some adjustments in how we prepare and how we try to, you know, keep our players fresh. We've also, you know, tried to do some things to psychologically keep them where they need to be to try to have the best opportunity to finish. But I also think that, you know, internally, you know, from inside out, you know, the players themselves, you know, have affected each other in a positive way to try to finish the season the way, you know, they want to. And I think that's probably the most important thing.
And far back left.
Coach, I know they're all difficult places to play in the SEC, but with what happened at Jordan-Hare the last time you were there and the rivalry, is it more difficult at this particular stadium?
Well, you know, this is a difficult place to play, you know, no question. You know, people are usually fired up when you get there, and they stay that way, you know, throughout the game. Not a lot different from other places that we played. I don't think what happened 2 years ago there has any impact on what's going to happen in this game. It's going to be all about, you know, how we execute and how we play. And I think it's important when I say don't get affected by, you know, the outside noise that goes in a game like this. This is what I'm talking about. You know, you got to stay focused on what you got to do on that particular play to have the best chance to succeed. And when you're playing against good competition, that becomes even more imperative.
Okay, back with Tom.
I know you've been asked in the past about Will Muschamp, but I want to ask you specifically about how much can he impact the attitude and the mentality of a defense that he's running?
Well, I think, you know, it's pretty evident that everywhere he's coached, you know, his mark is on, you know, that group of players in terms of how they compete and how they play, as well as, you know, the system and the soundness that they play with. But, you know, these guys play hard, they play with toughness, they get after it, and that's, you know, sort of the trademark that, you know, Will takes wherever he goes with, you know, how he wants his players to play on defense. And I think that they've played better and better and better as the year has gone on, and they've gotten healthier too, which has helped. And I think they're playing, you know, some of their best football right now.
Okay, last one over here with Aaron.
Yeah, I was going to ask about Will too. Is he running the same system that he's always ran in Florida and where we've been?
Well, you know, I think we all change, you know, a little bit, you know, in terms of what we do and how we try to evolve. And I see, you know, some of the things that Will does is he's evolved into doing. But I think basically he's trying to do the best he can with the players that he has in terms of system, because he's played even and odd before. And I think he can implement both of those things if he needs to. And he does what he thinks his players can do best against whatever the team that they're playing against, you know, features. But I do see similarities in some of the things that he's done in the past, but I also see some new wrinkles that are very effective.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.